Hey guys, welcome. Welcome. Sunday fun day from the Philippines. As you can see in the background, this is Subic Bay. I decided to do the video from uh, my room because, yes, last week's I looked at the live stream and the quality just was no good. I wasn't happy with it, so I decided to go with this. So, Alex, welcome aboard, brother. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Alex is one of my longtime supporters and a strong, what do I want to say, advocate, but always giving me positive feedback and support on all of my videos. I really appreciate it. So I kind of organized today's um, live stream. I've got a list of things. So I'm looking, just so you guys know why I'm doing this, is because I got three screens in my home office. So the camera's here. I got one screen here, one screen here, and one screen over there. So I'm kind of looking everywhere. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. So I wanted to welcome everyone who is live with us today, and those of you who are watching after. I noticed that a couple of days after the live stream that there's lots of views. Like my last live stream, over 100 views. I'm a small channel, you know. Uh, I have 2,196 subscribers, but I'm gonna say about 1,000 of those, 1,000, maybe even 1,200 are from my previous life. My life in South Korea 5 years ago when I was running a club. A lot of those subscribers probably are not active. So it's the newer subscribers who are following. So that's why someone asked me, why am I not getting so many views, or why are my views so low for having 2,000 subscribers? Well, it's because a lot of those subscribers are from my previous life. Alex, brother, I don't fault you for not being able to join. I'm going to try to do a nighttime. It's just really difficult because that's when I'm working, and early morning, I'm not a morning person. So I decided to I tried to have the video today at 10 a.m., at 9 a.m. local time, but I just couldn't. I slept in a little bit, and I wanted to have a shower and have something to eat before I started the live stream, which we're going to do for about an hour today. I'm going to try to do an hour live stream every week. So if you want to comment as to when is the best time for you, it's 3 a.m. for Alex, and lots of love for taking the time to join and just say hi. You don't have to stay for the whole hour, but just stay for the next 5-10 minutes because I just got some updates I want to give you. Me neither. You're not on your. Yeah, not many people are morning people, and I don't do anything. I don't go out. I don't club. I don't drink. I'm just, and it's not that I'm busy. It's just that I do a lot, and I want to do a lot of nothing. So yesterday I spent the whole day on the beach, and you'll see that video coming up soon. And I just sat there. I sat in the water, in the ocean for over an hour, just vegetating. It was beautiful. So anyway, today's topics I want to go over real quick. I'm going to talk about life in the Philippines, my plans for Korea and Sri Lanka over the next 2 months, what I'm planning on doing in 2023, 2024. Talking about my work-life balance here in the Philippines, and how I spent a little bit too much and didn't sacrifice enough. Some plans I have for looking for some new kinds of work. I saw this thing called remote closing. Being that I'm a salesman, I think that this might be something I'm interested in doing. And then I'm going to rant a little bit about work and why I saw this Reddit post on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and 9gag about people, not happy with their jobs. and I wanted to ask, why do people allow this? So I'm going to talk about that. So um, thank you, Alex. Again, fully supportive. I absolutely love it. It's not that I want to save my energy. I think I'm just really, really lazy. I love doing nothing. My mom, I'll go and talk to her and she says, Sam, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm like, you're over 70 years old and you're retired for the last 25 years. What are you doing that is so busy? Oh, I have things to do. I have things to do. I'm like, I'm like, what? So anyway, it's just so funny. It's just so funny that this is what happens. But anyway, um, life in the Philippines is great. When I am out on the beach, when I'm hanging out with friends, is it the best? No. I've enjoyed better times in Korea. Why is that? Well, it's probably because of where I'm situated and my personal situation, in that I don't really have the time to go out and meet new friends. The friends I have here, I got through my roommate Tim, or from just like casual encounters with people I met, going to restaurants or to the shopping mall. Female friend I have right now, I met at a mall. We just happened to strike up a casual conversation, and we just started hanging out. Um, is this someplace I'm going to come back to? The Philippines, yes. Here, probably not. The Philippines is so huge. Just like Korea isn't just Seoul, you need to explore a lot of Korea. Just like USA is not New York, Chicago, or LA, there's a lot more to it. So I will explore other areas, not big cities, small towns. Uh, um, Probably an area where there's not as many foreigners. Probably that's my interest. That's where my interests lie. I'm not big on having foreign foods or foreign friends or all of those things. I can live like a local. I enjoy that more. So one of the things that I'm going to really talk about today, and I want to be very serious for a moment, and a lot of my viewers, and I want to thank my viewers very quickly. The people who are subscribed, the people who comment, the people who like, are following the retirement plan that I have. How do I get to this? How do I get to the end of my life and enjoy the end of my life? How do I learn to live life and not let life live me? Okay. Um, and I will say, a lot of these YouTube channels are focused on, where to shop, where to eat, where to live, how to get a visa, how to do all of those things. And they neglect one very important thing. And please comment below and tell me what you think. Okay. And that number one thing is health. Not health care, health. If you make all of these plans, watch all of these videos, investigate, invest time and money, travel, all of those things, research online, or even going to these places, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia. If you go to all of these places, Sri Lanka, and you invest all of this time, but you have chronic diseases or chronic illness, or you're a heavy smoker, or you drink a lot, or you're not, you have high blood pressure or diabetes. These are things that you can prevent before you retire. So one of the things I want to kind of harp on is, why are you doing this to yourself? And I hear this all the time from some of my friends here in the Philippines, or in retirement places, from my friends who are younger, that a lot of these older people will come to their retirement country to die. That's what they're there to do. They're single, they're heavy smokers, drinkers, or whatever. They have chronic diseases, and they just come there to live out the rest of their lives, however short that might be. And that's kind of disappointing that our lives are so short. Well, actually, our lives are quite long, considering how long mammals live. You could theoretically live 80, 90 years. My parents are in their 80s. My aunts and uncles, 90s. My parents are the youngest siblings. My grandparents lived long. So I'm hoping to do that too. So what happened to me, where the light bulb moment clicked, was at the beginning of COVID. And congratulations, as of yesterday, the World Health Organization deemed COVID over, that it's no longer a pandemic, which is great news 3.5 years after the fact. And that's when it kicked into me. It's 3.5 years ago when COVID hit, the clubs closed, and my life changed. I didn't have that work anymore. I didn't have that entertainment. So I had to focus on things. And then I realized, you know what? I'm, 50 years old. I need to look at retirement. I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life. Then I went for a health check. I had a mandatory health check. And the nurse said, you should really go get your blood tested because it's not good. So I went and got my blood test, and my cholesterol is supposed to be under 250. It was 800. My liver functions were catastrophic. My kidneys, everything was way off. And I found a local doctor in my neighborhood who's an American Korean, and he has American bedside manner. So I got to talk with him. Now, I'm not an online doctor, but I will research, high blood pressure. I will research cholesterol, kidney functions, those things. I will not research. I will look at what it says online. What are from like WebMD or the Mayo Clinic or like reputable sources. And I will find out what it is that I should be doing. And then I will say to my doctor, this is what I hear that I should be doing this. And then he says, yes, this is what you should be doing. And you should be doing this and doing that. And I ask him, what can I do? You tell me what I will do, and I will do it. Okay? So that's what I did. I discovered what was, sorry, just give me 1 second. This is work. I followed his instructions. I stopped drinking. I started exercising. I started eating right. And in 30 days, I dropped my cholesterol. And now I'm on medication. Everything is below. And every 3 months, I go for a blood test, and we track everything. And we see the progression of everything. And if we see something starting to go up, we add medication or change something. So I catch things before they happen, right? Preventative maintenance. Everyone owns a car. Everyone owns a house, or, in their lifetime, especially if you're older. Do you allow your car to go without an oil change? No. Then why do you allow your body to go through life without a health checkup? You paint your house. Why don't you take care of your body? And people neglect that. They take care of their things, but not themselves. So that's my rant. All right. Alex, thanks very much. It is good news. Unfortunately, we can't go back to where things were. We need to focus and make sure that we maintain our health. We maintain vigilance against other diseases. Because now people are becoming more comfortable, and now the flu is up. Okay, COVID isn't gone. There's still 5,000 to 10,000 infections a day, but this is going to be here forever. Now that everyone has had it, except for me, I still haven't had it. 3.5 years, I've never had COVID. I've had 7 vaccinations, and I'm getting my next one in July in Korea. Thank you, and I do appreciate, Alex, your comments on taking care of my health. But that's the point. Taking care of your health is something you must do if you're going to invest time in your retirement. Why are you focused on, oh yeah, I need to get money for retirement, I need to figure out a place to do, and then your health is crappy and you spend all your time in the hospital? Well, fix that before, when you're 20, 30, 40, even 50 years old. It's never too late to change your health. And this is the one thing that I've been doing for the last 5 years. Well, I'm going to say no, the last 3 years, focused on. I mean, for the last 5 or 10 years, I was slightly healthy, working out, eating healthy. And when I mean eating healthy is I don't eat processed foods and I reduce my carbs, right? I'm not overweight. I could tend to lose a few pounds. Everybody could, but I just love my pizza and burgers just way too much to cut them out completely. So, what was I going to say? Nowadays, after COVID, I don't drink. I've never smoked. I go to the doctor 3 to 6 months, every 3 to 6 months, blood tests and checkups. Every time something feels off, I go to the doctor and say, this is what's happening, fix me. But I have health care, so that's an important thing too. Nowadays, fruit in the morning. The only thing I take that could be considered bad is coffee with a little bit of sugar. I drink 2, sometimes 3 cups of very strong coffee because I love it. It's just my only vice. And on weekends, I'll have, burgers and pizza. That's 2 times a week. The rest of the week, I'm eating healthy. Lean meat, a little bit of rice, vegetables, and fruit. So I'm just finishing up the last of the chicken curry. Monday, the maid is coming in to cook up a week's worth of salmon and salad for me. How much healthier can you be, right? So, yeah, Alex, a lot of people I know have had COVID 4 times and never had any issues. And I've had friends who've had COVID once and were like almost, died. None of my family members have had it. My brother has, my brother has not had it. Sorry, I'm getting text messages from my work. I have work this afternoon. None of my family members have had it, but we're pretty well self-quarantined. I mean, we don't really expose ourselves to other people. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Alex, moderation is key. And my doctor says that. He says, you don't have to quit drinking. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. It's moderation. And that's what I do. So I do fasting every day, which allows me to have that food on the weekend, which I enjoy, right? Because my weekend is my time. A lot of people think, I'm retired, but I'm not. I'm semi-retired. I'm still working, but I'm working remotely. I'm working in paradise. So my health warning is this, is please, 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 please take care of your health. Get yourself checked out. Don't put it off. Take that 3 months, 6 months maintenance, okay? So let's jump into the next thing I wanted to talk about is my plans. So as most of you know, I am here for another month, and I'm leaving on the 16th evening, returning to Korea for 2 weeks to finalize my visa. And then on July 1st, I'm returning to Sri Lanka. So in Korea, I'm going to visit with friends and do what I'm calling my farewell tour, part 2. My last farewell tour was a year and a half ago. And then, 6 months ago when I returned to Korea, that was in the winter time. Now it's going to be summer, and I'll have a chance to go out with more people and have fun. So I'm going to return to Korea, say goodbye, because that will probably be my final time in Korea. I don't see a need for me to ever return to Korea. Yeah, I got friends there, but I have friends in Canada. I never went back to Canada. Sorry, I got to get comfortable in this chair. It's for some strange reason it's not feeling comfortable today. So I will spend the 2 weeks there. I'll be working. I'll be going to the doctor, going to immigration, going to the bank, going to the dentist, going to the eye doctor, getting everything taken care of before I leave Korea and then return to Sri Lanka. And my long-term plans in Sri Lanka are a little, I am focused on one thing, as to make money. So I'm going to probably sacrifice a year and not go anywhere, because when I go someplace, I tend to overspend a little bit. So all the money I saved up or should save up, I spend, because I like to fly business class. I like to stay in a nice place, and I like to go out and enjoy. So I think I'm going to sacrifice, and here's the reason why. Okay, so I return in July, and then to go away again in August or October is just, it's 3-4 months away. That's a waste of money. I won't have the travel bug. I miss my parents as well. So then there's the option. I don't like going in December, January. November, December, January, maybe even February. I don't like going to Philippines or Thailand. It's just too expensive, too crowded, too many people. I'm not into that. Prices are just ridiculous as well. High season. So I tend to go in October or end of February, March. So problem is, my brother is coming to Sri Lanka in January, February. So now I can't travel. Well, I don't want to travel. I want to hang out with him, because it'll be a year before, since I saw him last time I saw him was this past February in Cebu. And that was only for a week. Here he's going to do a month. So we'll be traveling. He might even go to India, which is what I would like to do. I'll go with him. So save my money and do that, which means that I won't be able to travel until 2024. October, November 2024. But what I would like to probably do is spend 3 or 4 months in Thailand in 2025 and do what I did here in Thailand and see which one do I enjoy more, because I've traveled to Thailand a lot on vacation. This time I'm going to do it as an experiment, a retirement experiment. So I want you guys to check out my friend's YouTube, Alex Bam Bam, okay, Jiu-Jitsu Passport. He is a vlogger like myself, but much more successful. I mean, wow, he has been on for about 2 years, and he just broke 10,000 subscribers. He's got a great channel. He is by far one of the best guys I have ever met. I actually physically met him, and it turns out that my friends in Korea are his friends from the Philippines a decade ago. We have the same friends. And I bumped into him in Thailand in August. We were supposed to meet, but couldn't, and then just happened to bump into each other on my last day in Thailand. And we talked. And I reached out to him, not once, not twice, a few times, private message. And he is a huge supporter of me and really gives great advice on how to run a YouTube channel. So I'm really happy to hear from him. And he lives in Thailand. He lives in Pattaya. And he is the inspiration for me to move there as well. He's a younger guy. He's about 45-ish, I think, medically retired from the military, but great guy. Amazing YouTuber. Please join him. Okay, Alex Bam Bam. Subscribe and let him know that I sent you. Okay, because he is just, and he's funny, not boring like me. No, he's really funny. He has great adventures with his girlfriend Miley, and join her page as well, Miley Story. She cooks and does amazing cooking shows. All right, so they are actually live streaming tonight in about 8 hours, 9 hours from now. On Sunday nights, they do about 3 hours of live stream from Pattaya. So please check him out. Now, yeah, 2024, I'm going to sacrifice a year and try to save up as much as possible and put that into the bank because the interest rates in Sri Lanka are dropping. What are we at right now? Let's take a look. The interest rates in Sri Lanka have dropped because, and I'm going to do a story on Sri Lanka coming up very soon about what is going on over there. The IMF deal came through, the government approved it. Interest rates before I left Sri Lanka were 27% for 7 months, 9 months. Now they're 21% for 3 months. So you can see that the short-term outlook is really, really good. Interest rates are coming down. 1 year interest rates are 17%. 2 years are 14%. So you can see that, you know, it's going to stay 14, 15% for a long, long time. It's never going to go down below 10. That's still a lot of money to be made. So I'm throwing everything in to these high interest rate plans, as well as locking in a whole bunch of money for 1 year to earn interest. So that's the important part that I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah. So my work-life balance, I spent way too much money here in the Philippines. Just going out and, you know, having dinner out or having lunch out, everything like that. Sorry, more messages from work. And something happened in my work that I lost a lot, not lost, a lot of contracts ended, and I couldn't renew them. So I moved from morning corporate work to afternoon and evening kids work. It was 90% corporate and 10% kids, and now it's switched to 90% kids and 10% corporate. And I think it's because COVID is over and people are switching away from online classes, whereas kids are finding that it's much more convenient for them. Parents are finding that it's much more convenient and cheaper for them to get the same level they feel. Instead of sending their kids away, they can pack more study time and less travel time. So I'm getting a lot of work. I just signed a whole bunch of new contracts. I'm going to do really, really well in the next month. April and May were a slow month. I didn't make as much, so I was a little bit concerned with my finances. And well, you know, I had brought cash to pay for everything. Before I came, I had enough money to last me the 6 months with no problem. But now, you know, for my return, I had up until last month, I had just enough to cover my expenses. You know, going to Korea and everything like that, paying off, you know, my credit card or what have you. And then what happened was I just signed these new contracts. So, you know, June and July are looking great. You know, I'm going to have extra money to put away. So I'm happy with that. What else? So I need to sacrifice a little bit so that by 2024, 2025, when I fully retire, I'll have a nice cushion where I can travel 2 or 3 or 6 months of the year. I don't like being in one place. I like to move around. So it's not like I will stay in the same place every single time. I like to move around and explore new places. Yeah, so I'm looking to find some new work, and I saw this thing online, and I'm doing a little bit of investigating, a little bit of research. It's called remote closing. So most of you may or may not know that I was a salesman my whole life. So I know how to close. And as you guys see, I'm a pretty good talker. I like to talk. I like to work on sales. So it's something that I've been good at, and I've done quite well in my life in the past and in the recent past. I mean, I think about 8 years ago, I was a business development manager for a company in Germany when I lived in Korea, and I did really, really well in phone sales. And here in this job, it's qualified leads that you close, and you work purely commission. And they can, from what I'm seeing, is you can do quite well if you sell high ticket items. So I got to look into this, and I'll talk a lot about it. Talk about this in a second, as to what it is and how it works, and then the last thing I want to talk is about why people allow work to overrule or overshadow or give them stress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I want you guys to just relax, go get a coffee, go get a water, go, whatever you need, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. guys, we're back. Thank you. Thank you very much for sticking around and for joining. Appreciate you. Everyone, thank you. I really love, the support that I get from subscribers like you who watch and comment. I love the comments. Please comment. Let me know what you're thinking, what's on your mind. All right, so let's take a look here and see where we are. Sorry, guys. It's local theme. Where are the comments? There we go. Figuring out how to use this new tool, and it's really cool. I really like it. What's it called? StreamYard. I really like it. It's getting used to it, but it's got a lot of features on it. I think once I get handy with it and everything, I think I'm going to purchase a license for that. So yeah, I'm looking to follow up from the last point was about the new job. I'm trying to maximize how much money I can make. Working from South Korea is hard these days. I don't know what's going on over there from a work perspective, but it's getting difficult to try to find work. I'm connected now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies, and I still can't fill my schedule. And I have a valid work visa, which means that everybody else, is working on these valid work visas. So maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know, but I'm being taxed. So the other thing I have to do, I forgot, is I made a note to myself a while ago. What I forgot to mention is I gotta go pay taxes. When I return to Korea, I gotta file my taxes. It'll be the last time I'm doing it, or no, actually it'll be the next time I'll have to do it remotely. I'll have to figure out someone to access my online account and file my taxes for me, or pay a tax accountant to do it. I don't pay, I just have to file. I usually just break even or get a couple $100 back. So this is what I need to do is try to save as much as I can over the next couple of years to fund my retirement through interest rates. And that's going to be really easy considering the situation that's going on in Sri Lanka. I wish I had more prior, but hindsight is 2020. But this financial situation in Sri Lanka will last 5 to 10 years. There's no way Sri Lanka is going to pay back that money anytime soon. Not like South Korea did in 1997. They did it within, I'm going to say 8 years. Within 8 years, they paid the money back to the IMF. But Sri Lanka is not going to be that fortunate. They will pay it back. They've got the resources and the austerity programs in place. They've got the resources to earn the money back. So that's the good thing. So, oh, I forgot to mention this. Some other great news. Some company reached out to me for a brand deal. My small channel, a brand deal? Now, I didn't give out any information. I didn't do anything. I kept it very short and sweet. I said, here's my demographics. It's from a company in India. I looked it up. They have a pretty slick website. They deal with crypto and language and visa. So already kind of like a little bit of a red flag. Do I want to associate myself with something like that? Well, we'll see. Okay. Because of course, if I put any disclaimer on it, I'll say, listen, I've looked at this. I don't personally use it, but it's something that if you're interested in, I would suggest you look at this one. I have used Duolingo, so if they give me the language one, visa, I've talked about visas before, so I could promote something like that, but I'd have to look at it. So I made an offer and it was ridiculous. X amount of dollars per video. And they said, oh, that's way too much. I said, well, then make me an offer. Because they had asked me what was my rate. And I'm very political about it. I'm very strategic. I said, I've researched this before because it's very easy for them to look and see if I've done promotions before. And I'm a small channel, like I said. I don't get a lot of views. So I said to them, you know, I've researched this before, and based on my time and my demographics, you know, I'll charge this amount per video. And they said, oh, that's way too much. I said, okay, well, I understand that. Make me an offer. And their last posting to me is that they took my demographics and everything and pitched it to the client, have pitched it to the brand, now waiting for their approval and price. So, hey, if I can make a little bit of extra, great, you know. But I won't sell out to a brand I don't approve of. So none of these scammy crypto coins. Maybe an exchange I'll talk about, because I've used exchanges. I did crypto for a little while, and I made a lot of money on it. About 2 years ago, before I left Korea, I was in one for about 4 months, NFT, non-fungible token game. I think some of you may have heard of it, called Axie Infinity. And in 3 months, I made $5,000 just by playing a crypto game. I invested zero. All I did was take my time to play. And after the first month, which takes a while to get your score up, I was playing 90 minutes a day, and that's the maximum you can play. When I meant your score up, but your level, you have to, as you level up, it becomes easier to play. In the beginning, you're playing for about 6 or 8 hours to try to finish your daily requirement. But at the end, when I was leveled up, I was barely playing an hour to 90 minutes, depending on how well I played. And I was still making my money. And then the coin crashed. And I still have 10,000 coins, which is worth about $20. At one point, it was worth $1,000, but now it's worth about $20. So I just have it sitting there. Terry, thank you so much. Hey, brother. Terry, thank you very much for joining. Good to see you, brother. Logging in the last little while. I'm glad you're here. Hope you take a chance to go back and watch the whole stream. And Terry, double love to you, brother, for the super chat. Wow. You are the third person I have ever received a super chat from. Thank you, guys. Wow. Amazing. I so appreciate it. This will go towards me buying a lavalier microphone. I'm going to use this specifically to support the work that I do. I'm not going to spend it on anything else. It's in my post. I want to buy this lavalier microphone, so I'm going to buy it in Korea, and you guys will see it in July. Okay, thank you, Terry. I'm going to call it the Terry mic. Okay, those are your microphones that I'm going to buy. Wireless microphone that I can attach when I'm going out and doing my walkabouts, because I bought this one, which attaches to the USB, okay, on my phone, and it doesn't work that well. It's okay, but there are better ones, right? So definitely, thank you, Terry. No worries, Terry, no worries. no worries for coming in late. I truly appreciate the live chat, but even if you watch it after the fact, I appreciate it. Yeah, the Terry bike. That I swear to God, I'm gonna it's gonna say Terry bike on it. All right. So it's your microphone. It's not my microphone. It's your microphone because it's your support. Okay. Wow. I cannot believe you did so much. That is like blessings to you. It is Vesak in Sri Lanka, which is the celebration of the full moon, and from my ancestors, blessings to you. It is Cinco de Mayo weekend, so there. It is Children's Day in Korea, so again, a holiday to you, and wherever else. And Alex, again, just the support that I get from you guys. Alex, Terry, Alex has been around for a while. Terry is one of my newer subscribers, and just thank you for the support. I do the live streams for you guys. The other videos I do for me. The live streams I'm doing for you for a chance for us to chat, right? And hopefully what I'm going to do with StreamYard is I'm going to get people joining live video because there is an option to do that. So we're going to have a whole round table and we'll talk about life and answer questions and talk about, how it is that we can, learn to live life and not let life live you. Okay. Sharing best practices, tips and tricks on what it is that we can do to better our lives. There's so much information out there, but the best information is when friends talk to each other. And that's what I'm hoping that this grows into, is a group of people who share their best practices and tips and tricks on winning this game, right? So thank you very much, Alex. It's just, wow. Just, I'm speechless. I'm not expecting anything. If I get $1, if I get $2, I'm over the moon, But to get this one person supporting the one thing I wanted to get was that lavalier mic. My heart is yours for today, Terry. Thank you very much. So, love this. This is so much fun. Terry, what are you doing? I can't accept this. This has to go back, Terry. Come on, brother. What are you doing, man? This is crazy. Just stop. No more, please, no more. Thank you. I'm gonna use this, and I'm going to donate this to a family. Okay. Let me know in the chat or in my YouTube. Send me a YouTube or my email that you send me to, whether you want me to do it here in the Philippines or in Sri Lanka. $25 will go a long way. We're talking about a couple of weeks of food to a poor family. So let me know whether you want me to do it here in the Philippines or in Sri Lanka. I know someone in Sri Lanka who could definitely use it. The elderly woman, her husband had a stroke. The daughter had to leave university to come back. Perfect, Terry. We're gonna do that in Sri Lanka. I'm gonna send the money right now to my mom, and my mom will give it to my cousin, and my cousin will give it to Sushila. Sushila is an elderly woman who was my mother's family's maid. She was brought in as a young girl, 12 or 13 years old. She's now 70 or 80 years old. I'm going to say 60 or 70 years old. And she was taken in by my mother's family and lifelong. Raised my mother and the sisters, and Sri Lankan family. I didn't want to change my name, right, to Supik Sammy or something like that. I used to be Itaewon Sammy because I lived in Korea, but now that I'm based out of Sri Lanka is where is my home. So Sushila was married, had 3 kids. Great woman, undereducated, lower caste, but my mom's family took care of her, and the kids all went to university. And then the husband had a stroke, and she is also ill with age. So the daughter had to come back and take care of the father and the mother. The kids are supporting the family. They're elderly now, not older. They're adults now. So this money will go towards medication and a couple weeks worth of food in Sri Lanka. Definitely, you know, uh, very good, Terry. Merit to you. I'm not religious. I'm not Buddhist. I'm not Catholic. My mother's Roman Catholic. My father's Buddhist. But because Sri Lanka is a predominantly Buddhist country, Sushila is Roman Catholic. So the prayers will go out to you as a thank you. And as in Buddhists say, as Sri Lankans say, is merit is upon you. You receive bonus points. Thank you, Alex. One of the things I see here in the Philippines is the adverse poverty. My goodness. I just cannot believe how insanely poor the people are here for a country that I feel is much more modern than Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has, my God, the poor there are ridiculously poor, especially now in the crisis. But here in the Philippines, I've met, I'll meet someone. Oh yeah, I haven't eaten. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm like, you know, and it's strange because I've noticed the lifestyle here is short term, no long term planning. When there's no, and it's very obvious when you look at the phone plan. You look at the phone plan and it's 1 day, 3 days, 5 days. I cannot find 30-day plans, right? It's like you have to load up your phone with internet and voice and text messages. And they're 1 day plans. Who buys phone service for 24 hours? I don't understand. And I feel really, really sad. And you can't help everyone because if you try to help everyone, it'll never stop. But you try to help the people who you know and you care about, right? So that's what I'm very glad, Terry, that your support will do that. And your prayers, Alex, thank you. I will send those along as well, all right? And thank you, Terry. I don't really film my family. I kind of keep them in the background because this channel is not about them. It's about me and my life. They are a huge part of my life. And if you've been watching my channel when I was in Sri Lanka, you'll hear my mom, not my dad. My dad, he's like, I don't want to be in it. I don't want to, he's a cute character. I love my dad so much. He's the best. But my mom is so cute. She is a kid at heart. I mean, she loves technology. I gave her my old Galaxy Fold 2, and she loves it. Absolutely loves it. She goes, I love this. And my old PC, which is still sitting in my room, is going upstairs for them. And I'm going to make an entertainment center for them. And I'm going to show her how to set up her phone so it can access the computer, so it can access the computer screen, so she can watch her soap operas on the big screen instead of the little one. So Terry, good question, excellent question. from a national perspective, Sri Lanka is poorer, in my opinion. From what I see, Sri Lanka is poor. Pre-IMF. Before the IMF, Sri Lanka was poorer. It's even poorer now. But the Philippines has a lot of opportunity. And the Philippines, one of the things that was really, really good was they exported their number one resource, which was labor. Sorry, my computer screen is hiding my finger. Their number one export is labor. And Sri Lanka is starting that now. They're starting to see how the labor can import cash into the country. One of the things about Sri Lanka and Philippines, they're cash society. Everything is cash. I cannot use my credit card or my debit card anywhere. Everything is cash. Cash is king in this country. I go to the bank and people are, taking out stacks of cash because that's what they need to live on. But lots of countries are poor. Vietnam is poor. Southeast Asia is poor. America is poor. I watched this one video about the fentanyl problem in inner cities in Philadelphia, and they have this guy doing a walkabout in Philadelphia, driving through the poor neighborhoods, and you see these people like this. I'm like, wow, richest country in the world, one of the richest countries in the world. And then you even see like the poor areas of Russia, the poor areas of everywhere. There's poor everywhere. What can we do to support them? Well, education. We could talk for hours about it, but I just want to help my little bubble, the area where I am, and that's all I can do. And I want to thank you guys for being part of that. Yeah, Terry, I have done a few like cameos, but nothing like, hi, mom, how are you? Like right in the face, right? Kind of thing. I try not to, if I catch them in the side or something like that, then that's what I do. That was a fun video. The unboxing was a lot of fun. Yeah. Alex, my dad is a little shy. He doesn't realize what I'm doing because he's paying attention to something else. And then I'll say, hi, Dad, and he'll be like, what's going on? He's off someplace else, all right? Like thinking something else. He's not paying attention to what I'm doing, right? So, and because my videos are spontaneous and not planned or scripted, he doesn't know that I'm going to say to him to say hi. He just thinks I'm just talking to him. He doesn't realize I'm making a video. So yeah, it's fun. Thank you. Terry, I think Sri Lanka is unspoiled and not overrun by many tourists. Hope they keep it that way. I don't know how to answer that. Sri Lanka is a tourism-driven economy. It is. It's an export economy. I don't want to say the word intelligent. I'm not aware of the statistics. But everywhere I go, it's hotels, taxis, tourist attractions, everything geared towards tourism. And that is, I'm going to say this, that is one of the number one money-making opportunities that Sri Lanka has to get out of this IMF situation. Is our number one, our exports of tea and goods that we produce, textiles and tea. And number two is importing of tourists. That hard currency supporting the local population, the taxi driver, the roadside coconut vendor, okay, the farmer, the waiter, the chambermaid, those people gonna make the money. Those jobs are golden because number one, they get fed. A hotel worker, I should do an interview when I go back as a hotel worker. They get fed, which is the number one thing that they love about their job. They get fed because, back in the day, that was not a thing. Dude, Terry, good question. I don't know the answer to that. The government, I'm a Sri Lankan citizen. I'm eligible to vote. I pay taxes, not income tax, but I pay tax. Well, everybody pays tax. I don't pay income tax in Sri Lanka because I don't earn any income. I will pay capital gains tax for another few years until I become a senior citizen at 55 or 60, and then I stop paying tax. Senior citizens don't pay taxes, but that might change. The government, as I've seen, is trying to privatize a few industries, but they're going to get pushback from the unions and from the public. Sri Lankan Airlines, the power utility, and the oil industry. I think it should be. I think it should be privatized. I think everything should be fair market. Then you don't have these problems of, oh, why is the price going up so high? Well, we've been subsidizing it with your taxes for the last 25 years. Why shouldn't the price reflect inflation, right? So I'm not an economist, but I'm a realist. If it costs $10 an hour for electricity, you should charge me $10 an hour for electricity. Why should it be subsidized? Through taxes. I'm still paying for it. So either I pay it through my taxes or I pay it directly. If I pay it directly, I'll use less. Or I'll lobby the government to reduce the price by improving the generation of electricity. Okay, so it's not rocket science. I'm not an economist, but this is not rocket science. It's just the money needs to come from somewhere. Well, where should it come from? Well, it should come from the people who use the products, use the services. Okay, and then it should be open up to anyone who wants to make money. If I am an entrepreneur and I want to make money and the price of electricity is $10 an hour, well, I'm going to go and start making electricity. Even if I have to stand there and crank it myself. I'll pay somebody $8 an hour and generate power at $10 an hour, charge you, and I'm making money. Everybody's happy. So, it's not rocket science. Yeah, so I belong to a Facebook group, Sri Lankan tourism Facebook group, and the numbers are going up every month. And the marketing is there. Support the local economy. Support the local economy. Support the local taxi driver. Every dollar that you spend goes towards the local economy. It's not like, North Korea where you pay the government. Okay. There's an airport tax. Yeah, that goes towards the government. There's different taxes, but, you give a tip, $1 tip, that is huge amount of money. You have to remember the average salary in Sri Lanka is $50 a month. 50. Okay, that's the average. So $1 is huge amount of money. Terry, this is an interesting question, and I've answered it a few times, and I need to be very clear. My situation is different than almost everyone else's on my channel, except for Sri Lankans. I'm an expat. I am Sri Lankan, but I lived in North America. So coming to Sri Lanka and living with my parents and having the support structure of my family, etc., not just my parents, but my cousins and everything else. The fact I speak the language, that I have citizenship, it makes it a lot easier to live. Which one do I prefer? I prefer Sri Lanka because I hate cold weather and I hate politics and I hate the price of living in North America. What's different for me is I have no family in North America. My brother lives in Canada, in Vancouver, but I lived in Toronto and I never saw him. I lived in Canada and I think the last time I saw him was maybe 5 years, which is traveling to Sri Lanka to see him. I wouldn't travel to Vancouver and he wouldn't travel to Toronto. It's just a waste of money. So we would fly to fly to Sri Lanka to meet up because we would do the family reunion. I never saw him in Canada. I only saw him outside of Canada. The time, he moved to Vancouver, I would say in the 90s after university. So from the age of 25 till the age of 40, I lived in North America. I don't remember how many times I saw him. I could probably count on my hand how many times I saw him in North America. Only once I went to Vancouver. Well, twice. Once for his graduation, and the second time on my way to South Korea. I stopped up. So to fly just to visit my brother, it wasn't an issue for me. My brother and I are close, but we're not like, it's difficult to explain. But I see more of him now than I did when I lived in Canada. I would say that. And we talk every week. We talk. We have a family group chat. We all get on there once in a while. But because of the time zones and everything like that, it's never usually live. Right? So thank you very much again for the questions. I mean, I'm going over what I said I was going to do. I was going to do an hour. We'll go as long as you guys want me to. All right. Yeah, the cost of living is, so to go back to your question, I love living in Sri Lanka. There's no stress. My cost of living is 80% of what I used to pay in North America and South Korea. 80% less, sometimes 90%. Okay. I pay my parents. I give them $200 a month for electricity, food. Okay. I pay my own internet, which is about $40 a month because I have fiber connection, or $20, and I pay my own cell phone. And if I go to the store, I buy my own food. If I want cheese, if I want meat, if I want steak, I pay for it, right? But the $200 that I give my mom is for electricity and for the food that I consume, that they make for me. If we go out to a restaurant or everything, I pay. Or I give my mom extra money. I give her extra cash. So it's not like I live off my parents, but I am fortunate. And I say this all the time. One viewer was like, "Stop saying you're lucky. I mean, that's a cop out." And I said, "No, I don't ask for it. I'm very lucky. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky. I have this situation." So yeah, the cost of living. I left Canada in 2009, and I left South Korea a year and a half ago. Actually, this week is 15 months that I left South Korea. So, and the problem with living in Sri Lanka is if I was a Sri Lankan living in Sri Lanka and working in Sri Lanka, I would be miserable because of the cost of living and the earning potential, right? I will have to work very, very hard to enjoy my life. And I don't want to work very, very hard. I want to work easy. So, I mean, it's, again, not rocket science. Earn a lot and spend very little. Well, how do you do that? Well, you have to live somewhere where the cost of living is low. And that's why remote working is the best solution. Now, the problem is some people have family. Some people have obligations. I don't. I'm single. I have no children. I have no obligations. I don't even have to take care of my parents. They can take care of themselves financially. I just prefer to be. My brother is so happy that I am there. Well, I will be. That I am there to be there in case something happens. I mean, my parents are elderly, right? You know. So yeah, Terry, Alex, thank you for sticking around for so long. I want to wrap up by saying my rant, I guess. I see these websites and these Reddits and these TikToks or what have you, and you need to work smart, not hard. It's exactly true. You see these people, oh, I hate my job. It's so hard. I blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why are you there? Because you have created this debt cycle that obligates you to work. You have to work. And these people who complain about, I hate my boss. They didn't give me my vacation when I said it, or they texting me to come into work when I'm on holiday, and they're going to fire me and everything like that. And it's like, well, you don't save money. You don't have 3 months of savings to cover you. I just did a video about this a little while ago. I had this one guy come and tell me, we want you to do that. I said, no, I'm not doing that. You want me to fill out a resume. You want me to send you my resume and then fill out an application with the same information as my resume? No, I'm not going to do that. Before I interview, well, that's our policy. Well, my policy is to get paid for my time. I've created a resume that is perfect for recruiters like you. You're a recruiter. I've been working for 14 years. If you don't want to interview me, then don't interview me. But I'm not going to spend time, because I'm a freelancer, for your application form. Okay? Application form. I don't need to fill out an application form for an interview. I get an interview, I get a job offer, I'll fill out an application, no problem. But it's the same information as my resume. Why do you want to know the times and dates of my university, which was 35 years ago? What does that benefit your job offer, which is an online teacher? It's ridiculous. Like references, if I want to work at McDonald's, what reference? I'm a fry cook. What do you want? It's ridiculous. So some people, me, I can walk away from any job. Yeah, and I can just get up and go, or if I don't like it, I say, no, I'm not going to do that. And some people, maybe I'll get fired. So what? And that's the thing. They're not going to do it. Businesses have been so fine-tuned to believe that people won't quit because they need the job, that they push people. I don't. I'll tell you one story really quickly. Alex, let's see what you have to say here. I'm someone who, instead of complaints, I just quit. I'm not a fan of a job where I wake up and not enjoy going there. Number one thing, I wake up and not enjoy going there. I used to love being a salesman. Sundays, I couldn't sleep because I was so excited to go to work on Monday morning. That's why I quit my job at Bell Canada after 27 years, is because I didn't enjoy waking up anymore. I didn't. I dreaded it, right? So I will be 100% honest with you. Sunday nights, I couldn't sleep because I was so excited to go to work, because I loved my job and I made a crap ton of money. Terry, I'll agree with you. People, I don't know which people you mean, but I'm saying employers. Maybe people, also workers, but here's the thing. If you have to work because you're living paycheck to paycheck, then that's your problem, okay? That is your fault, nobody else's fault. So And most of these things are American because America has a very different work culture. Most other countries have protections for employees. I learned about this at will work contract or 0-hour work contract. I've never done that. I've worked full time up until I left Canada, and then I worked salary jobs in Korea as a teacher and as when I worked in the club. And now I work as a freelancer, again under contract, but it's a freelance job. I can get up and go. Well, not really, but I have enough in savings where I can decide which jobs I want, which jobs I don't want, or things I will do and things I will not do. And you guys should look at this one. Who is he? Masood. I can't remember, but he's an Indian comedian, and he swears a lot in his 30-second videos, and it's like, F your job. Your boss doesn't love you. It's not a family. Blah, blah, blah. And he talks truth, and it's so funny. And he does it with this, the Indian guru accent. It's so funny and so true. Your boss doesn't care about you. You're a number. And I used to be a boss, so I know. One of the reasons I quit was you had to terminate 2,000 people because we didn't reach our numbers. And I'm like, that's not fair. So, yeah, if you have to live paycheck to paycheck, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta move in, you gotta live in the YMCA or a hostel or something like that for a couple of months. Do it in the winter time because that's the best time to do it. Okay? Cut your expenses, walk to work, pack a lunch, don't go out, don't have internet, don't have a cell phone, cut everything down to the bare minimum of sustenance, and then take every penny and put it in the bank and make your money make money. Don't spend it, right? The other trick that a lot of people don't do, and this is something people in North America should do right away, is your withholding tax. You can, if you're under salary, you can have 0 withholding tax. You have to fill out a form and you have to guarantee it. Okay? You have to fill it out with the government, but you can pay 0 tax up front. Why would you give the government money interest-free when you can take that? So this is what you should do. Let's pretend in Canada you're paying 25% income tax. Okay? Take that money starting in January and put it right away into a 1 year rolling term deposit. Then in February, 11 months. Then in March, 10 months, etc., 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 and keep it going. And in December, you get all that money back, or January or February. Okay? You get all that money back. It has made you interest. Okay? Then you take that money and you pay your taxes with it, but you keep the interest. You just made money free without doing anything. That's how rich people make money. They get their money to make them money. Okay? So I say this, I did this in another video. If you sacrifice when you're 20 or 30 years old, you sacrifice for 4 or 5 years, you can retire when you're 40. When you're 50 years old, if you sacrifice for 3 or 4 years, you can live. Yeah, Alex, the unions, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of unions. I was in one, but it wasn't to my benefit because they lumped the seniors with the juniors, and they would offer the juniors like $500 to sign the union contract and give the seniors just like 1% or 2% raise. We would all say no, but it was a 50+1 union contract, and there's more junior employees than there are senior employees, so obviously the contract passes. The problem with, like, say, something like this, nurses and railway workers, they are paid by the government. So it's not a private situation where you can negotiate. The government only allocates a certain amount of money, and that money comes from the people. So you can't raise the rates. So it has to come from taxes. So again, it comes back to this, is that public services are not run properly. They need to raise the money. The cost of the service needs to reflect, the charge of the service needs to reflect the cost. It's not rocket science, right? People always say, oh, gas prices are too high. Compared to what? You'll pay $5 for a bottle of Dasani, but you won't pay for gas, right? It's psychological. I've never understood it. I've never understood people complaining about prices of things. They'll go buy an $8 cappuccino at Starbucks, but they balk at, paying for lunches for their children at school. I don't want my taxes going up. I understand your position, and I understand their right to strike and the unions. I don't have to agree with it, but I accept it and I understand it. That's the beautiful thing about the way I think, is that I absolutely understand their position. I get it. I agree with their opinion, the right to their opinion, and I see their point of view. I may or may not agree with it, but I take the opportunity to not belittle their opinion, because they are entitled to their opinion. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to disparage anyone's opinion. I have very strong opinions about certain things I'm not going to get into, because my channel is not political, but I think, because I don't know much about this situation, I think it comes down to that a government public service is not properly run, and therefore the employees suffer because they don't get the worth that they are entitled to. Yes. And I agree on that. I 100% agree with what you're saying. Brexit was not a help. It was purely political. It was not economic. Huge mistake. But I'm not a citizen. I have no opinion. I have no right, because I'm not a citizen. I have an opinion, but I don't have a voice, because I'm not a citizen of the EU or of England. So, just, and see, the other thing is what it comes down to is that I am single with no children. So I don't have what people call skin in the game. When I die, there's nobody after me. When my parents are gone, when my brother is gone, and when I'm gone, that's it. We don't have any children. My brother has no children. I have no children. We have no relatives connected to me. So my family name will end with my brother and I, because my father has two sisters and a brother. His brother had no children. So we are the last of my grandfather. Now, my grandfather had brothers, so the name will continue, but not from my grandfather. From his line ends with me and my brother. The name will continue. The name will continue. Yeah, pension plans. Oh my gosh. If you can last and then even get a medical disability. Wow, the bonus that you get. And then Social Security on top of that. There are guys I know here in Philippines, military retirees that are getting $6,000 to $8,000 a month. I know guys who are 45 years old who did their 20 years in the military, got a medical discharge from the military at 40 years old, 45 years old, and are getting $6,000 to $7,000 US. Do you know how much $6,000 or $7,000 a month, tax free, can last you in the Philippines or in Thailand? You can live like a king, and they get free medical on top of that. Yeah, Alex, I don't want to get into politics too much, but you know, it's just that was that was a huge. I don't want to say I don't want to say this about the British people, but I'm just saying this as voters in general. Voters in general don't know what they're voting for. They're voting emotionally. They're not voting logically. The majority of people, which is why I stopped voting 10 years ago. I can legally vote in 3 countries. I can vote in South Korea, except for president, I can vote. I can vote in Canada and I can vote in Sri Lanka. I have not voted in 10 years. After being an ardent voter, I voted in everything I could vote in since I was 18 years old. The day I turned 18, I registered to vote. But after I left Canada, voting doesn't change anything. Politicians only care about you every 4 years. Um, they vote, they listen to you, and then afterwards, only the lobbyists they listen to. They don't listen to the voters, right? So, yeah, the weather today is slightly overcast. Let me see if I can turn the camera around. So what am I gonna do the rest of the day today? It's 11:30 local time. Let me, sorry, let me try to change this. It's 11:30 local time. After this, I'm gonna go to the beach, and I'm going to hang out at the beach. Why can I not turn that off? Okay, here we go. Virtual background, none, and then as you can see, partly cloudy. The sun is out. Okay, maybe see blue skies there. The sun is out, and the weather is nice. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna have a nice lunch. I'm gonna get maybe some fish and chips. I'm really craving a little bit of grease. The fish and chips at Treasure Island are really good. And I'm gonna go swimming. I'm gonna relax, and then I have to come back by 6 o'clock to work. And that's my Sunday. And then, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like I signed some new contracts and starting next week and in June, wow, my May and June are packed with work. I'm going to be working starting next week, like 30 hours a week. That's almost a full-time job. I'm looking forward to the money, but I'm like, no more going to the beach at lunchtime. Yeah, Alex, I really don't want to get into politics. It's not about politics. Politics is like religion or family. It's a personal thing, and each person has their own opinion and their own ideas. But basically, the reality is, as human beings, we don't care about other people. We don't. And anyone who says that they do is not 100% truthful. We do care, okay? We do care, but for the wrong reasons, okay? For the wrong reasons. I'm not going to get into it. It's just, you know, human beings are selfish. We are. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But anyways, yes, I'm going to have a great fun day Sunday. I'm going to eat some good food. I'm going to sit on the beach and I'm going to enjoy. If you guys have you joined my Facebook? Have you joined my Instagram, Sri Lankan Sammy? Okay, Google me, Facebook me, Instagram me, join, and you can see my daily adventures, right? I only post funny, on my Instagram, I post funny things. On my Facebook, I post like what I'm doing today. At least once or twice a day, I'm posting. You guys, see what I'm doing. Yeah, Terry, I'm really hoping to build up a nice little nest egg over the next 6 months. Like I'm talking a lot of money I'm going to save. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to spend any money. I'm going to sacrifice for the next 6 months. And then at Christmas time, I'm going to take a personal week and just go to a resort and, sleep for a week, getting massages and stuff like that in Sri Lanka. So it's all about sacrificing. It's all about sacrificing because people say, oh, well, you need to live. Yeah, okay. But if you're spending money, you're not saving money. And right now, I need to save as much as possible to earn as much interest as possible. If I sacrifice and earn more interest today, it's better than like spending a little bit and saving a little bit over a longer period of time, right? So it's about math. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up today. It's been 90 minutes, so I really want to thank everyone. Alex, can you let me know what's a good time for you? Yeah, Alex is on my Facebook already. Terry, yes, Terry, you come to Sri Lanka, you will have a place to stay upon landing, okay? And then we will take you out. We will hire you a driver, a guide driver who will take you where, based on your preferences. When people ask me, where should I go in Sri Lanka, I say, well, what do you like? Do you like beaches, shopping, and luxury? Or do you like ancient cities, roughing it, and culture? Do you like animals and safari? Based on your likes, I can plan a 3-day, 4-day, 7-day, 21-day itinerary around the country because I have been to every single place in the country. And I can do budget or 5-star or medium or, what have you. So yeah, Terry, I mean, you don't really want to stay at my house. My house is in the middle of nowhere. You want to stay on a beach close by. Oh, Alex, thank you. So Terry, yeah, you don't want to stay at my house. You want to come and visit, but I'll put you up in a nice hotel close to my house. You come to the house for dinner, and then after that, you're off traveling the country. There's no reason to hang out with me. I'm bored. Alex, yeah, you're in the UK, 2 a.m. Sunday morning for you. But I would like to keep my live streams on Saturdays or Sundays. Sundays are a little bit easier for me, depending on whether or not I have a trip. I can't do outside videos. I tried one last week. It did not, the quality wasn't there. unless you guys are okay with that, the quality just was not there. I was not happy with it. But, thank you again. Terry, double, triple love going out to you for the super chat. I've crossed my toes as well, okay, in the love. Really, really appreciate that. I'm just so wow. Uh, I have to figure out how I get it. I think it goes to my AdSense and then that gets paid to my bank account. So I got to figure that out. But don't worry about that. That's something I will take care of. I think it was a couple of, when did I get? I have a sheet of donations. So I got uh, I got some donations. I'm gonna say about a year ago, um, from my one friend in Thailand, and a couple other people from one person from Australia and one person from Canada, donated to me personally, and then also what you did, Alex. Sorry, Terry, what you did to what I'm going to do is support a family, not a family member, a person in Sri Lanka. So I'm going to add you to my list here because I'm keeping track of that, of who is supporting, so that I can, super thank you when I'm hoping that once I start getting members and when I start, getting more people supporting me, that I'm going to return that support through merchandise. Sri Lankan Sammy logo merchandise, T-shirts, hats, stickers, things like that. So I got to figure that out in the fall, and I'm going to start that because I do have a membership page where you can join for $1 a day or $1 a month as a member to support. Yeah, Alex, Sunday are the best for me. Weekdays I can't do it. Weekdays are impossible unless it's a special event. Anyway, Alex, Terry, thank you for joining. We had a few other people who joined who were watching. I want to thank you guys as well for watching, supporting the channel. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Okay, if you are watching this after the live stream, I want to say thank you to you for supporting, for liking. Comment. Please comment. Let me know what you think. What do you think? What should I do? What do you want to hear about? And join us next time, next Sunday. Let's do Sunday morning. Let's do Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Filipino time, 10 a.m. next week, Sunday morning. Join us. Why don't you? Sri Lanka Sammy saying thank you for now. Bye-bye. Learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Love you all.